Before we begin today, take a breath with me. And one last gentle reminder before we close this season of Rest Stops. If you haven't already, consider following the Virtual Assistant Directors page on Facebook. It's a supportive place for arts leaders and parents, a space that understands both the work and the weight that comes with it. And as we've shared this week, SoundstageEDU will be pausing after today for the next couple of weeks, with the exception of a couple of longer episodes that are already recorded and ready to send out to you guys. We're doing this to spend time with family, to celebrate the holidays and take the rest that we all need. Because we don't just teach healthy culture here. We do what we can to live it as well. All right, deep breath in and out, and let's begin. Before the week begins, it's worth remembering why we fought so hard to get here. Welcome back to the Rest Stop. It's Friday of week 9, and today, we're closing more than just a week. We're closing a season of early mornings, late nights, emotional labor, difficult conversations, advocacy, boundaries, leadership, growth, exhaustion, and hope. So before we step into rest, before we turn our attention back to our homes, before we completely set the work down, we need to answer one final question. Why do we fight so hard? Yes, we fight for the programs, we fight for funding, we fight for rehearsal time, we fight for space, we fight for equity, we fight for kids who need a place to belong, we fight for creativity in a world that often forgets its value. The arts save lives. They give kids language when words fail, and they create community where isolation once lived. And that fight matters. Because beneath all of that, there's another fight happening quietly in the background. The fight to stay present at home, to protect marriages, to show up for kids, to keep joy alive, to not lose ourselves in service, and not sacrifice everything in the name of doing good. And here's the truth that we don't say out loud enough. If this fight costs us our families, then we've lost something we were never supposed to lose. Before we ever led a program, before we volunteered, before we advocated, before we fundraised, before we stayed late, we belonged to a family. And that family has paid a price for our leadership. They've shared us. They've waited for us. They've adjusted for us. They've absorbed our stress. And they even loved us through our exhaustion. They are not an afterthought. They are the reason that this work matters. Winter break isn't just time off. It's a reset of priorities, a recalibration of identity, a return to who we are outside of these roles. This pause is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's SoundstageEDU saying, we believe so deeply in this message that we're willing to live it ourselves. As you step into the coming days, I want you to hold this question gently. Who am I fighting for? Really? Who am I really fighting for? Not your mission statement, not the calendar, not the expectations, but the faces, the voices, the people who will still be there long after the season ends. Let them have you again. I see you leaders who gave everything this season. I see the parents who carried entire communities. I see the volunteers who said yes too many times. I see directors who felt torn between calling and home. I see the ones who are tired but proud. And I see the ones who held on when it would have been much easier to quit. You did good work. And now, you've earned it. It's time to rest. As we close this season of the Rest Stop, remember this. We fight for the arts. We fight for the kids, but we also fight for our families, because they are the first community that we ever belong to. Go home. Be present. Love more. Sleep. Eat slowly. Put the phone down. And hold the people who make this fight worth it. We'll be back. Rested, grounded, ready. But for now, come home. We're building culture here, one season, one family, one returned heart at a time.